that the CEO of SAFARICOM, this is Bob Collymore, who has been ailing for a long time right now, has passed on. This is just information filtering into our studios this morning, and we'll be giving you more details of this as well. If you're waking up to, of course, joining us this morning on AM Live, this is a point. Bob Collymore has passed on, the CEO of SAFARICOM. He has been ailing for a while right now, and of course we remember he was out of the country for the longest time. People also had bugbears and fears about also his leadership on SAFARICOM during that medical leave abroad. But right now he has succumbed to cancer, and we'll give you gritty details of this much later in the course of the program. Of course, this is a big shock for the country. He has been leading this particular organization for a while. We'll give you more details on this as we continue. So there is a breaking news. Bob Collymore, the CEO of SAFARICOM, has passed on. He has been ailing for a while, and scant information coming through, but we'll give you gritty details of this, of course. And of course, we'll also be watching how the markets will be performing in light of this particular revelation. Of course, we know he has been the epitome and, of course, the brand and the picture of SAFARICOM. So will also the shares in the stock market also dip alongside this as well. So a lot of sympathy and condolences are streaming in this morning in light of these revelations. But of course, we are keeping an eye on this as well. Maybe I just also come to a panelist. I know that has also interfered with the program or this morning a bit and a conversation, but this is a man that many Kenyan had come to really appreciate in running SAFARICOM, and also when it comes to maybe the epitome of good leadership, corporate governance, he was a picture of good corporate governance. Hamad Manyora.
My condolences to his family, friends, and the SAFARICOM family, and I think to the whole country. In a country where we do not have serious leadership, even in the corporate world, when you have an icon like SAFARICOM, like the SAFARICOM CEO, and especially if that person is an African, like Bob Collymore, it gives us some hope that we are not quite a basket case, that among us you could find a person capable, because really in this country, to find somebody like Bob Collymore is not easy, even in the private sector. So it's a big loss, and we shall mourn with his friends and family and the SAFARICOM fraternity. It's really bad.
Right. Richard Onyonka.
Yeah, for me, I think the way Professor Manyora said, here is somebody who comes from a very small Caribbean country, Trinidad and Tobago, went to school in the UK, went to some of the best schools, finished his education, finally ends up running through the mill and works in many companies, lands himself in Kenya, takes a company that was actually making averagely 19 billion shillings a year, to where SAFARICOM is now is at 39, maybe 42 billion. One of the most successful East and Central African countries, I think one of the most successful African countries. He had become the household face in Kenya. He was married to a Kenyan. And my wish is I pass my condolences to the family. And I would wish, I really hope that the family in London will agree for him to be buried here. He had really become a Kenyan for all intents and purposes. And it would be sad that after he had left the corporation and he was unwell. And again, we also need now to look at what we need to do as a country in terms of how do you treat cancer. Of course, I think he got the best medicine that the world would offer. But I think these are things we need to start thinking about, our lifestyles and ability to manage this. It's a sad day.
Thank you.
But I guess all of us, are headed there.
Right.
Thank you.
I just want also to just read a position statement from SAFARICOM. It says SAFARICOM CEO Bob Collymore passes on. If we just pick up this a bit so that we can read together with our viewers. It says, it is with deep sorrow that we announce the passing away of Robert Bob William Collymore, CEO of SAFARICOM Limited Company, which occurred at his home in the morning of 1st July 2019. In October 2017, Bob proceeded to the UK to receive treatment for acute myeloid leukemia, that is AML, and returned in July 2018 to resume duties. He He has been undergoing treatment for this condition since then in different hospitals, and most recently at Aga Khan University Hospital in Nairobi. In recent weeks, his condition worsened and he succumbed to the cancer at his home in the early hours of today. This is 1st July 2019. Bob Collymore leaves behind a wife and 4 children. On behalf of the board of SAFARICOM, we extend our deepest condolences to his family, staff of SAFARICOM Public Limited Company, partners, and the nation at large, who he served selflessly with joy. And this is from Nicholas Nganga, Chairman, SAFARICOM PLC. And of course, we just want also to give you just a snippet of what he had to say, him and SAFARICOM, which is upcoming, I should say.
You know, I'm actually not going anyplace, and I think I've said to some of you before, but you didn't want to hear that. I actually owe the company about a year because I was sick for a year, as you all know. And so I'm extended by another year. So I'm here until the year 2020. I told him that, but he didn't want to listen to me. I'm here until the year 2020 to continue to hopefully serve the company and hopefully serve the country.
Yeah, of course, deepest condolences and, of course, sincere sympathy from NTV and, of course, the entire media fraternity as well. Just want to hear from our panelists as also they continue to condole with the family of Bob Collymore. Let's hear from Okongo Mogini.
Debal, I think also for myself, it's just to pass a message of condolences to the family of Bob and the entire SAFARICOM fraternity, and say that we wish that God will strengthen them in these very difficult times. But the encouraging part is that I think Bob has left behind footprints. As a CEO of SAFARICOM, I think he ran the SAFARICOM Foundation that supported so many needy children. I remember they put up a fantastic school somewhere in Muranga that supports needy children. So I think he's run his race in this world, he's left a mark, and I think it's something that we should learn for Kenyans or anybody in this country who is privileged to serve as a CEO of such a blue chip company. Give back to society. I think that's what we can remember Bob for, that SAFARICOM has really given so much back to society. I think that is very, very commendable. But my condolences to the family and to the SAFARICOM fraternity.
Right. It's only, I think, 2 months ago when he was appointed a board member of the National Cancer Institute, and then now he has succumbed to the same, of course, a sickness that he was meant to maybe be an ambassador and, you know, encourage people who are suffering from cancer as well. Let's hear from Alice Wahome.
Yeah, thank you. I think I want to join my colleagues and the entire country in mourning Bob Collymore. I believe that actually he stands for, he is everything that you can describe as epitome of success in this country. The skills and management and knowledge that he actually demonstrated in the running of SAFARICOM is what we need to grow in this country, and definitely he will be missed a lot by the entire SAFARICOM family, Kenyans at large, for what he stood for. As a member of parliament, I know that, and I want to acknowledge here that SAFARICOM Foundation has supported about, I think, 2 secondary schools and 5 primary schools in helping installing computers in our schools, and they bring about $1 million shillings. We just pay 10% as a community, and I think that they have done that in very many other sub-counties and or constituencies, and therefore we definitely will feel the loss.
Right. Bogisio.
Yes, thank you, Debal. My deepest condolences to the family and to the SAFARICOM family, because Debal, this is a man who stood with a company, and he made the company rise, grow. He's the epitome of an executive we in the communications sector, where I served as minister and oversaw the transition from Michael Joseph to him, realized that we were not very sure that we would get somebody who would run the place like Michael Joseph. And when Bobby Collymore came on board, he proved that he could do it. The one thing that I must confirm here is that some of the leadership that we have would have dissipated, moved away with everything. Bob Collymore, I think, prepared a transition. I think Bob Collymore has left a good legacy, but even in matters of succession, you'll notice that for the 1 year that he was not here, Safaricom would run without having to wait for Bob Collymore to come. I think that succession philosophy, that Safaricom will continue to be profit-making even during his absence, shows that there is a team that runs Safaricom, that there are principles and institutions in Safaricom that are ready to run. So we will not be worried about Safaricom as we mourn Bob Collymore. I just hope and wish the family well, and I pray that God may rest his soul in eternal peace. Thank you.
All right. Kongo Mogini, have I heard from you?
He just did.
I've already given my condolences.
Haman Manyora.
You will mean.
I think we go to the Chunga matter. We have not contributed.
I think we'll stay on with the Safaricom story right now that has been overtaken by events on that note. And of course, if you're waking up this morning, that is the sad news that you're waking up to the passing on of the CEO of Safaricom. This is Bob Collymore, which happened this morning. He has succumbed to cancer. And of course, we just know recently, 2 months ago, he was also appointed the board chair of the National Cancer Institute. This is information that has been, of course, reported by the chairman of Safaricom, that is Nicholas Nganga, who says he succumbed to cancer at his home. Of course, you understand previously he was abroad receiving medical treatment for cancer of the blood, which he has succumbed to this morning. We'll be telling you more of this much later. But